All right. Today, stop talking, please. Today is the review day. Before I release you guys to start working on your stuff, I just want to talk a little bit about test format-wise. This test is a little on the long side. Fair warning. So your list of things that you should be able to do for the test. Give examples of qualitative and quantitative variables. What's qualitative mean? Descriptive. For example, color, great. Versus quantitative, which is example, great, length. Be able to identify the mean, median, and mode of a distribution from a visual representation. I think we did that in the PowerPoint where we drew the graph and you basically draw where the mean, median, and mode would be on the graph. You guys remember doing that? Given a cumulative relative frequency graph, identify the measurement from the percentile and the percentile from the measurement. I think we did that on quiz 1, right? We're just tracing over like x up to percentile and then percentile over to x. Use mid-interval values for a frequency chart. We're going to get this right when we ask you to do a mean using mid-interval values this time, right? We've done it. Been on like every quiz and homework and activity and everything so far. Like, we'll get that right this time. You got to remember to multiply the mid-interval values by the frequencies and divide by the total number, right? Everybody got it? Okay. 5-number summary for a distribution. How you want to? What's the best way to do that? Calculators, right? You just type it all in there and do the one variable stats. Box plot for distribution. What do you have? What's the easiest thing to goof up on the box plot? Outliers get the stars. So the min and max aren't necessarily where the whiskers end on your box plot. It's going to be the smallest non-outlier and the biggest non-outlier. If you do it on your calculator, will the calculator label the outliers for you? No. So make sure that you're being careful about that. Find a mean, median, mode, standard deviation from a frequency chart. I think we did that in the activity and then again on the most recent quiz. That went pretty well. Create or complete a frequency table for a distribution. We did that on quiz 1, right, where you had the two-way table. Make a histogram from the distribution. We did that on the quiz 1. What do you have to remember about histograms? The bars touch. Make sure you label your axes. Find an IQR for a distribution. Use the 1.5 times IQR rule to determine if a distribution has outliers. Remember, it's 1.5 IQR. And you subtract that from Q1 for the lower bound. And you add it to Q3 for the upper bound, right? I saw some of us using the median for that on the quiz or the activity. I don't remember if it was this class or the other, but make sure you got that piece straight. Explain whether the mean or standard deviation or median and IQR would be best to describe a distribution. When do I use mean and standard deviation? If the distribution is symmetric with no outliers. When do I use median and IQR? If it's outliers or skewed, right? And you should be able to describe the SOX of a distribution using statistics. What does SOX stand for? Shape, outliers, center, spread. Now, what do you have to be careful about when you're doing that? Use the correct measure of center and spread for the distribution. How do you know which one to use? If it's symmetric with no outliers, mean and standard deviation. If it's skewed or has outliers, median and IQR range. Okay? Would I mark you down if you did a mean and standard deviation when you should have done median and IQR? Yup. Even if you did a valid description of SOX, it would still be a deduction for using the wrong descriptors. And then the formula is given: mean, IQR, variance, standard deviation. I think it's the same formula sheet as on that quiz 2. Does everybody feel comfortable on like the topics we've described here as to what you'll have to do? Again, this could be very fast if you're like lights out, know how to do everything on the calculator, and feel really good about it. Could be really fast, but it's like it's kind of a lot of questions, stuff, some stuff to do here. Does anyone have questions from homework? Is there anything that you want to talk about? Great. You spend the rest of your class here working on your review, getting caught up on homeworks if you have outstanding homeworks to catch up on. And I'm going to leave you alone while you kind of get ready for the test next class. Sorry about the mix-up on the testing. Somebody came and asked me. I fixed it this morning. But if you want to talk to me about anything, if you're doing it, or if you need to rehash how to do stuff on the calculator, come see me. Happy to do that again. Otherwise, let the learning begin. Review time.
I saw that.